To talk about. There was nobody that got hurt, just some bumps and bruises that wasn't able to come back in and play. And also just want to congratulate Sean and the Rams. That's a very good football team. They played very well today. They whipped their butts. I'm ready.
Why did Desmond King not play?
Disciplinary reasons.
Is he expected to play next week?
We'll see.
Can you shine light on that? What a player does to get benched?
That's internal. It was a disciplinary thing that we keep in-house.
You've been talking about how you need to stop the penalties and the big plays, and you weren't able to do that today. How disappointing is that you keep doing the same thing?
Well, it's very disappointing. It's frustrating. We're going to keep coaching it, just like we've been doing. I'm disappointed and I'm frustrated, but I'm not discouraged with this football team, simply because I saw at the end there that, first of all, they're not going to quit. We just got to play better. We got to coach better, and we got to continue to play better. And we know what that process is. We know what we have to do. We're not there yet. We're going to keep coaching it, Christy. We're going to keep coaching it.
David, with all the explosive plays on defense, where did you see the lapses, the problems there?
Well, the same thing as we've had before, miscommunication, guys not being where they should be. And as I said before, just about our penalties and those kind of things, we got to keep coaching that. And we haven't done a good job of preventing that from happening. And it doesn't matter who's back there when we're doing that.
You talked about, switching people in and being able to forget the last play. I think after one of them, Lonnie came off the field, and it looked like y'all were talking there. What was that shared moment?
I was just encouraging him there. I was just encouraging him right there to, hey, be where you need to be, do what you need to do. Things that happen. And then obviously later on he went back in and he played.
With the trade deadline approaching, do you know if you all are planning on trading Deshaun Watson or what those conversations have been with Nick?
That's up to Nick.
David, what was obviously when the Rams are up 38-0, they're going to change their coverage, so you guys don't make big plays. But still, what you saw at Mills in the fourth quarter, what did you think about it?
Well, I thought at that point they knew we were going to have to throw the ball. We knew they were still going to come and blitz us, and they did. Basically, we were just in a situation where we went up tempo, which actually helped us a little bit, kind of gave us a little change of pace, and he handled it very well. I mean, he handled it very well. Our entire offense handled it very well. We were in a pass mode at that point, and he did a good job of distributing the ball, and our guys did a good job of making a play, and up front they did a good job of protecting.
He was under a relentless rush for most of the first three quarters. How tough is it for anyone, especially a rookie, to try to progress the way you want when he's under constant pressure?
Well, he's progressing. That's a learning experience for him. The thing about it is that during that time, anytime they had pressure on him, the one thing he didn't do is he did not mishandle the football during that pressure. He protected the ball. The interception that he had was just a poor throw. Had nothing to do with pressure. He was outside the pocket, just made a poor throw, and they got an interception. But he's progressing very well, and I like where he's at right now. And I like what he did with our offense at the end of the game, the way he handled things, and he's just getting better and better. Brandon?
Y'all trying to establish a culture this year. How do you do that, or how does losing make it more difficult to do what y'all are trying to do in terms of establishing a culture with you guys?
Brandon, we have short memories, win or lose, and the only thing that matters is the next game. And in our case, we've gone, I guess, 7 games now without a win. And we're going to come back tomorrow. We're going to look at it, correct it, and then move on to Miami and never look back on this and just try to get that next win.
What was it about this matchup that made Rex so much more of a factor today than he had been in previous games?
I'm sorry, Aaron.
What was it about this matchup against the Rams that made Rex Burkhead so much more of a factor today than previously, beyond the fact you traded Mark Ingram, obviously?
Well, he was more effective because we got in that hurry-up mode, and obviously he's like David, is very good out of the backfield in that particular situation, too. Obviously, they're looking for the pass. We got some nice little runs off some draws there with him. And, that's what he's been in this league. And the opportunity was there, Aaron, for him today to do that. And he did a nice job of that.
David, what did you see from Brevin Jordan today, his first game, and do you feel like he's ready to play in games ahead?
Well, he showed today that he deserves an opportunity. He got it today, basically, the way he practiced, not so much because of Pharaoh being hurt, but he did a nice job, and that's what we expected out of him. He's been showing that. He's been practicing well. He's been doing the things that we want to do. He deserved an opportunity to play the day, and And it looks like from what I saw, other than the touchdown, that he did a nice job.
Will the up-tempo become more a better part of the menu now? You've seen some production that you can hang your hat on. Will it be a better part?
You know, that's something that we'll think about and we'll talk about as a staff. Obviously, it worked for us in this particular situation. I mean, we're down. You know, their plan is completely different. It's different when you're in the middle of a game and you're doing that, and you have to be effective when you do that. And we're fortunate because of the situation of the game to be able to do that. But that's something we will talk about. And Davis liked that. I went to him and said, look, we're going up tempo. How you feel about it? He says, let's go.
What do you think Davis is with recognizing pressure? I know that was something that he kind of struggled with early on. Do you think he's made an improvement?
Well, Brandon, I don't think him recognizing it had anything to do with it. I think basically we didn't block very well on some of those pressures today. The fact that he held on to the ball and was able to not have a bad play, I thought was a positive, because he knew it. There was nothing he can do. All we tell him in that situation is, you protect the football. That happens. Last week that happened to him one time. He didn't, because he didn't see it. He saw things today, and he did a nice job of doing that.
Finding you guys got the score closer, but they're pulling their quarterback after 3 quarters. It was what it was, a lopsided game.
Well,
what's the message to the guys?
Well, the message is, it doesn't matter who's out there. This is the NFL. You know, you just play, and you play the best that you can play. You do the best that you can do. And at that situation, those guys out there playing didn't know who's out there or who's not there, who's not playing, or if it's the first team or the second team. They're just playing football.
David, have you been part of a regular season game where a team pulled their quarterback in the fourth?
Excuse me?
Have you been in a game previously where a team pulled their quarterback in the fourth? How do you use that?
I can't recall. All right, thank you. You're welcome.
And the whole team to lose this many games in a row?
Yeah, it's losing's never easy. It is tough, and as a team, we look for things to improve upon every single day, every game, and just trying to find things we can build on. And I think today, at the end of the game, you saw a lot of fighting guys. You didn't see a lot of heads down on the sideline. You could still see that look in people's eyes, like there was still a fight. There was still that instinct to go out there and do whatever we could to impact the game and, put ourselves in a position to win and be successful.
Whenever they pull Matt Stafford in the fourth quarter, where do y'all sit? How do you react to that?
I'll be honest, I didn't notice it at first. As a team, you just got to keep going. You got to keep fighting. You can't have that mentality like, all right, they're putting backups in or whatever. Like, you just got to keep pressing forward. Because I've been in games that have changed like that, and been down a lot before. So, we've had opportunities there at the end. Had the onside kick conversion, almost had a second one there. So really, just got to keep fighting.
Rex, was your success merely opportunity?
I'm sorry, can you?
Was your success today about opportunity?
Oh, no, I'm just going out there, doing whatever I can to help the team. Davis did a great job there at the end, really, taking control of the offense and putting us in good situations. TK did a great job with the play calling there. We got a rhythm going. I think it was a 10-play drive there we scored on. We really, moved the ball left, right, up the middle, run game established there early on. So if we can do that, if we can maybe find something from those last few drives, hopefully we can do something going forward here.
Do you think you might get more playing time now based on what you were doing?
I don't know. That's up to the coaches. I'm just trying to do whatever I can to help, the team be successful, and whenever my number's called, try to contribute in that way.
Holding y'all back in those earlier parts of the game, before you go hurry up.
Yeah, I mean, execution, we're just not executing well, especially, having some of those 3 and outs, and that kills you there early on, some penalties, and when you can't convert on third down or you have some penalties that move you back, it's going to make it tough on you, and then it makes it tough on the defense when they're out there, the whole game. So, whatever we can do as an offense to really get some things going is what needs to be done.
There were 4 sacks within the first 2 drives of that second half. What were you seeing that they were doing to get pressure, and how did y'all adjust after that, or at least approach to try and change that?
Yeah, they're very physical front. Of course, got Donald up there up front, and so they've always done things, twisting and games, and just giving you different looks. They move, Aaron around on the line quite a bit. So, identifying him and then, really getting some chips on the outside we try to do and, really getting the ball out quick also. And we started doing that, giving Davis some time. And when he gets some time, he's pretty daggone good.
To expand on that, with Davis, what do you see from him as a young quarterback? You see a lot of quarterbacks. What do you see from him as potential?
Yeah, I think the thing that impresses me most about Davis is he's so even kill. It doesn't matter if we're, down a ton there, not converting, not being successful. He's always the same quarterback. He's the same person throughout the game. And for a rookie to have that mindset, even in practice, is the exact same way. It's super impressive to me, being a 9-year veteran. I really haven't seen that, honestly, from a lot of younger guys, and he does that very well, and it takes command of the huddle there, especially when we need it late on.
Rex, you've seen a lot of Scotty Phillips. Do you think he's at a place where he's ready to get more action on the field?
That decision's not up to me. I love Scotty. He works his tail off. He's a tremendous football player, very versatile, does a lot of things. And, what I do know is when he gets his number called, he's ready to go. He's focused in every day, doesn't say a lot, takes in from, myself, the other veterans in the running back room, making sure he can do whatever he can. And when his number is called, to go out there and be successful. All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
See that the Rams did so effectively to get to?
They just have really good front seven that we were fighting really hard to protect against, but they got good players on that side of the ball. They got after me a couple times, but I thought overall our line played extremely well. Protection, handled what they were bringing. No crazy pressures or anything, and I thought we handled it well overall.
How do you feel like you're handling pressure versus how you were when you first got thrown in there?
A lot better. I think I'm seeing it a lot better than I initially did. Kind of going out there and making sure I see what I need to, and don't really need to see much more than that. So I've been definitely improved from my first game.
The score was
now you've gone to no huddle and you've done well. Culley said he's going to talk to the staff about maybe doing it more. What is it that works with you about the no huddle?
I've just always been comfortable pushing the tempo out there. I think it's a little easier as a quarterback just to find a rhythm when you're just making quick decisions, spreading the ball across the field to your different playmakers on the edge. And I think we do it well as a team because we're built well for stuff like that.
The score was what it was, but do you take anything from the fourth quarter, just being able to do anything? And obviously there's no moral victories in football, but what do you take away from the end of the game?
Yeah, it's tough. The result of the game it's still the result. It wasn't a win today, but I think the guys were starting to rally around the energy we felt from the success in the fourth quarter, and I think that's something that we can carry into this week of practice and moving forward in the next week.
How you guys internalize going 12 quarters without a touchdown, or however long it was you guys went without scoring a touchdown, or having only scored 5 points? Like, how does that impact you guys in offense?
Yeah, it's tough. It's frustrating at times. But the guys in the locker room still rally together. We know that we're capable of a lot, and we just got to go out there and make plays. And I think we showed that later in the game today.
What did you see on the interception?
It was just a bad decision by me. I thought Danny was going to be able to get right around the guy, and I just ended up forcing it in there when I either could have tucked it and ran or throw it away.
On those first two guys, the second half, I think they sacked him 4 times in that span. Are you looking for Don in those situations? What was kind of the adjustment there, and how did you kind of track that and learn from it?
Yeah, it's tough. I think it starts. I think those first drives in the second half, we were playing from behind the sticks, especially those 3rd and longs. It's tough to play offense when the defense knows what you need to do, and we were in passing situations. So we just got to try to avoid those situations, and then I got to be better with protection and make sure I'm getting the ball out of my hands before those guys get to me.
Davis, Coach Culley has praised you a couple of times on holding on to the ball after tough hits. What are you doing to work on that? How's that happening for you? Because you have taken some tough hits.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is that I emphasize is just protecting the football. I know if the pocket ever collapses and I'm about to get hit, I need to hold on to that thing because the fumble is the worst thing that can happen in a situation like that. Can't make a bad play worse. So I just got to keep emphasizing that, protect the football.
Are there things from those last few drives in the fourth quarter that you can just take and apply to the first games? Like, where do you see the differences between why one thing works and why another doesn't?
I mean, I don't know how to answer that entirely. That's a lot for the coaches to kind of assess and see how we're going to game plan moving forward. But, I mean, I think we function well as an offense when we're pushing the tempo, spreading the ball around, run and pass, and mixing it up.
With 6 games as a starting quarterback, how would you self-evaluate yourself so far?
I mean, I think the continual progression from the first game I was in, I think I've played better each and every week, and that's the thing I've been challenging myself to do. Just get better each week, protect the football, and if I do make a mistake out there, make sure I don't make the same mistake twice.
How much input do you have in a game plan from week to week? I know you're a rookie, but how much input do you have, and are you collaborating yourself with, like what you just told us, you feel better about getting up tempo and getting the ball out?
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk back and forth with the coaches. Obviously, they're the ones kind of sculpting the game plan, and then if there's stuff that I really like or dislike in that, I have the feedback that I can give them to make sure we're talking about it. But, I mean, the coaches have come out with great game plans each and every week, and we just got to go out there and execute it better.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
What's the frustration level like at this point?
Yeah, still frustrated. Still got that drive. We just continue to keep working. I mean, ain't much to say. We just got to keep going.
The run defense early on, it seemed like they got some big runs on you guys to start the game.
Yeah, we got to trust each other, stay in the gaps. I think they had a good game plan, which is pretty much what they should attack in our defense. I mean, it's a copycat league. They've probably seen multiple teams beforehand try that, and they've seen success, so they go back to it. We just got to fit it up better and be more stout. And everybody, not just up front, everybody got to get to that football.
What are the things you think that they kind of knew to attack that other teams have attacked?
Yeah, I mean, when you run over defense, I mean, the tight end, you got a 6 and 3 to the tight end side, so backside where the bubble is, you got a shade in the 5. I mean, they're going to audible to that. Pretty much, that's universal football. They're going to audible to that bubble side every time. So, but with that coming, that obviously just comes with different looks and different disguises. So, just trusting your gap, trusting your keys and stuff like that. It's a difficult play. I mean, we're in the league. I mean, you just got to make those plays. It's a hard-nosed play that they're going to have to earn those downs and earn those yards. So, we got to be better.
7 sacks now
like
for you.
this, how difficult is it to?
I'm sorry, started. I didn't mean to cut you off.
When you are in a skid like this,
Mm-hmm.
like the team is, how hard is it to shake off the loss and keep looking ahead?
Yeah, it's real tough. I mean, but at the end of the day, we still have 9 more games left. So, I mean, people can say, I mean, it can always get worse. So that's the thing about it. We always got to have that in the back of our head, and I think that's why it kind of you seen that little pop and I guess a little juice towards the end. Because we've seen that it could get worse. I mean, we've seen how recently in the past couple of weeks we haven't put points up, and I think the offense took that as a chip on their shoulder. Obviously, we would love it to be earlier in the game, but, I mean, to see that fight out of, especially with Davis coming there and finishing out being the leader, I think that was huge for him and us, for us as a team moving forward.
Is that the motivation? Is that the motivation in the locker room, making sure it's not worse than the last couple of games?
I mean, not even. It's just something you always think about. I mean, obviously nobody likes to lose, but you start to see patterns and things like that, and to see how those losses and those results come about. We try to do those things so that it doesn't get to that point. Obviously, our backs against the wall in those situations, so we got to play, do whatever we can to make a play, make sure that we still do it within the system, obviously. But yeah, that sense of urgency still kicks in when that point in time comes.
Your 7th sack. How much is it about trying to maintain your own individual standard, even if the team's not winning?
It's tough. I mean, like I said, I don't really pay too much attention to it. I just know that, I mean, if I get one, I get one, which is good. It helps the team. That's what I'm looking at. I don't really look at it for individual stuff. I was just trying to make a play so that we can get at least some type of juice to put us back in the game. So 7 is a good number. I mean, I'm going to keep striving for more, but, I mean, obviously that's not my main goal when I go out there. I'm trying to make a play for the team so that way we can get what we want in the end game.
On Stafford today, the pressure, is that what you wanted?
I mean, he was a little comfortable back there. I mean, they had good setup, good scheme. They pretty much ran a system pretty much where so you kind of lure you to sleep a little bit, and all of a sudden a big block 'em up play comes, and that's where their deep routes and deep plays come on, and their explosive plays come from.
I was going to say, when your defense is kind of straightforward like yours is, how do you get an advantage on a team, especially when you have that kind of fun?
Yeah, there's always adjustment can be made. But I mean, all I know is I handle the stuff from the front line. I mean, they tell me where I fit, I go from there and I do it the best I can so that we can help out for the team. But there are many ways. I mean, but there comes with a lot of risk with that. I mean, obviously it kind of seems clear that you want to set a team up for. You want to run this play to think to stop this one play, then they come and hit you with another play and gas you. So we can play the guessing game and what if game, but that's not going to work out for anybody, honestly, in this league. You just got to find a way to make it work within your system.
They were like lulling you to sleep. What could you tell, like in the moment, that they're doing that?
I mean, not really. It's just like I said, they're a team. They're a methodical team. Matt Stafford, pretty much that same offense they run, even though it's LA. They're kind of similar principles they ran at Detroit. I mean, the line protects him in a certain way. He knows how to get the ball out. He knows where to look people off. He's a vet in this game, a underrated vet in my opinion. And nobody gives him credit for his knowledge of the game and how to set people up. Hats off to him. They are who they are. I mean, they're one of the top teams in the league, and they showed it. So, but hats off to them. We just got to be better.
How does it feel to you as a defender and just a guy going against another team when a team is able to pull its starting quarterback out for the entirety of the fourth quarter?
I mean, hey, that's what they would do. I mean, I don't blame them. To our defense, too, we need to make sure they don't get to that point. I mean, I don't care who they put in there. We should never let it get to the point where they're putting their backup in. So, I mean, I take that as a chip on my shoulder. I mean, obviously they did it, and we made some couple stops, but we got to get to that point where they don't get to that. So that's all I can say about that.
Jonathan, you seem to be one of the young building blocks here, especially the way your play is this year. Losing 6 straight, what are you seeing that potentially are other building areas right now where the team is actually getting successful from your perspective?
I mean, we can play one thing I'm not going to do is point the fingers. I think that overall we all got to be better. I mean, I had a play where I got out my gap and spit out for a 5-6 yard run, and now it's 2nd and 3 instead of 2nd and 9. It's just one of those situations we all got to be better. I mean, you can cut on the film and pick it out, but they ain't going to do nothing but just that's not what we about. That's not what I'm about for sure.
How tough was it going to the quarterback that you played last week to the quarterback this week? Two totally different.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a sheer difference in this one. But I think one thing we definitely can appreciate is they're both at the top of their games. Kyler Murray's at the top of his game. Matt Stafford's at the top of his game. And they're going to be two teams. They got to face each other again. So that's going to be a matchup to see moving forward. But they're definitely different playing styles. I mean, Kyler wants to run and make some plays on his feet. Obviously, Matt Stafford, later on in his career, he's not trying to do all that. He's trying to sit in the pocket and make some good throws, which he has done, which is pretty much what fits the Rams system. So, I mean, I think, like I said, I think the world of both of them. They're guys that I watched Matt Stafford coming up. I've been watching Kyler since he got in the league, so I think they're going to be doing some pretty good things moving forward. But overall, we're going to still go with the same game plan to try to make them feel uncomfortable. Anybody we play. For sure. Appreciate y'all. You have a good one.
Sorry, Aaron, I can't hear you.
How are you handling the mounting losses you guys as a team?
I mean, I'm handling as best I can. It hurts. I mean, we'd be sitting here lying, say if it did it, but, all I know is work. And most of these guys, all we know is work hard and keep on fighting and, keeping hope regardless of what's going on. It hurts in the moment. But when you go to sleep and wake up, you got to do it again because, quite frankly, that's our job. Obviously you want it a different way, but, we'll see it through sooner or later, and it's a part of life. Yeah.
Where do you sort of find that hope? I mean, I know you had to stretch here at the end. What are some of the things you did to kind of hold on to the
The fact that we continue to, go out there and fight regardless of the score, and then, like I said, throughout the work week, that, we go back out to work like nothing happened. I mean, that's where the hope comes from. It shows that we got a bunch of guys that are willing to fight, and keep trying to get better. And so that's where I find it at.
Trying to establish a culture, how do you avoid allowing the mounting losses like Aaron was asking about from that sort of damaging to the culture you're trying to establish?
The biggest thing, the message for us players is that you just got to trust the process. You look around teams in different sports that was in this position at some point and turned it around. I mean, you look at the Golden State Warriors is a huge example. Like, you look at those examples and sooner or later you see it through. you just got to trust the process and the people that's making those decisions, I guess.
Brandon, you were close to Mark.
Yeah.
I mean, how hard did that trade make it on you with being on this team, and how did it kind of change how you, or if it did, how you see the future of this team?
I mean, it's tough. I mean, you talk about a guy who I came in the league with, one of my best friends. I mean, a guy that's a huge leader in the locker. So, I mean, I'll be sitting up here lying and say if it didn't hurt, and it was frustrating. But, talk with Coach about it, and I understood what they were doing. But I'm human, and, I love that dude, and, he helped me lead men in his locker room, and it was frustrating, but at the same time, got to let it go and keep on pushing on. I'm happy for him. He got a chance to go break that record, all-time rushing leader. So, yeah, I just got to keep on pushing.
Brandon, last year you said you didn't be traded. Your trade deadline coming up. You still have that stance with the Texans?
Oh, I said I won't be traded, and if I'm not involved, that's what I said. I didn't, and I'm all in on this thing, and it would be pretty special to be a part of something that that's turned around. How that look, I don't know. I got to trust that. Like I said, my job is to come in every single day, be the best teammate that I can be the best example I can be, continue to work on my game, and just continue to work. Like I told you before, that's all I know, and that's what I'm going to continue to do.
A couple more.
I know you've been through a lot of ups and downs in your career. Is this the toughest season you've been through?
Well, it's tough. It's one of the toughest ones. I mean, at the end of the day, we're not winning. But it's building me, perseverance. They talk about, God talks about how that, that perseverance, it creates something, through the trials. And that's my foundation. My faith is my foundation. And, yeah, why it may be hard in the moment, I genuinely feel there's light at the end. And I got to continue to trust that, be a light in dark moments. And that's what I got to continue to lean on.
What are you learning about yourself?
To be able to lead when things don't look right and when things aren't going right. I've been blessed and fortunate to be a part of success most of the time in my career. And being able to lead from that standpoint is always easier. But when you're going through stuff like this, it tests you. And I'm learning that I got to be a leader through this and to keep pushing and be a great example for my teammates, not just my teammates, but my family too.
Last one. What do you see this team in terms of its progress on being a disciplined team? You mentioned that a couple of weeks ago about not being a disciplined team.
If I'm not mistaken, I mean, we had a bunch of penalties today. So from a game standpoint, not much progress.
Go ahead, Aaron. Is it harder for the team to kind of grow and feel like it's making progress when the margins of losses can be kind of as wide as they've been in some of these games?
No, I don't think so. Like I said, because, like, for instance, today, to be able to finish the way that we did, there's no moral victories in here, don't get me wrong, but to be able to finish the way that we did, that gives us hope, like, okay, we can do this. But we just got to be more consistent, more disciplined, and, be better earlier.
Thanks,
all right, guys.
that'll be it, guys. Thank you very much.